So it's like at that point, and I don't even know when. I think Sean, I think you left at like 1:30 or 1 o'clock, Sean, something like that. I have no idea, but I remember I texted you when you were saying you were just leaving.
Yeah, I got home about 1:30.
Yeah, so it's like we like, and oh my god, shout out to Sean and Alex by the way, and Dono, because I know they were here for a while as well, and I think Winningham and a couple and Rongan were also here for a while as well. But it's like the ones who stayed are the ones who sat there through that 45, and no matter what happened in that second half, and Inter Miami played a fantastic second half in my opinion. Did they get a goal for it? No, they did not. Are there things that you can question about the team right now? 1,000%, yeah. But for the supporters in general, they stayed and they really made it be the atmosphere and just everything you wanted it to be. That section, and at that point, I was more invested in kind of what was happening in the game at that point. Afterwards, like in that during the second half when it finally restarted, compared to before. For anyone who, if you ever see me, if you come to these Inter Miami games and you see me, you're gonna see me running around. And I was telling people in the supporter section, if you ever see me, you want a picture, anything like that. One, I'm never afraid. If like let's say it's you and your family or something like that, and you guys want a picture, I'm never afraid to send it to you personally, take a picture, anything like that. For me, right now, when covering the games and everything like this, I want to get content. I want to get stuff from the fans. I want to get pictures. I want to get video. I want to show how amazing the fan base is while also covering the game. So I want to be able to do everything I possibly can. So I do want to say that if you're ever at the games, I want to make sure to it always get the best stuff that I could possibly get for the station, whether it's chants or anything like that for the fans, and to just have a great time. So I always get into the mentality in the 3 home games that we've had of get some content, get some content, get some content. And I was able to, in both the Atlanta game and this past game, and of course the Atlanta game, I was able to get really, really, really good audio and video, which was awesome. And then this one, I mean, I have a ton of video. I wish I got better pictures, but I think the video is great on its own. I think you can see in the video more than you can ever capture in one picture, in my personal opinion. But the supporters that stayed, they stayed and they cheered the team to the very death, not only in the supporter section, but all around. And you would be shocked, unless you saw it on TV, unless you were there in person, how after after pretty much 2 hours of not having the team on the pitch, that these people stayed during this horrible rain with lightning in the area. I mean, literally torrential downpour to the point where people were even saying it was flooding where they were under in that supporters section. They were under the bleacher part of it where it started to flood. They were going at it and they were cheering and they were doing everything they ever possibly needed to do, and were just showing Miami what it is for fandom. I tweeted out at halftime that there are a lot of fair weather fans in Miami. And for anyone who doesn't understand what that means, it's pretty much saying when the team's on a high, you're dedicated. When the team's on a low, you don't even know that they exist. And I tweeted that not about the supporters section, but more so just in general about how people were booing the team at halftime. Like, yes, that happens a lot, but it's like, was it a horrible first half performance? Was it embarrassing? Absolutely. 100%. But at the same time, this is a team that, is still relatively new. Thus far in the season, they've exceeded expectations. And they're going to continue to perform. And they're going to continue to get better. And they're going to continue to try to show the fans here why they deserve them. And they, a lot of people were tweeting out in that, like, just from that one clip that I had tweeted, there's a reason, they're just drunk. They just want to cheer for anything. I saw a couple people saying, I'm not going to, there was some stereotypical things that were said as well that I'm not going to repeat. But, like, I think you look at that for people who were saying, they'll just cheer for anything, and then some of the other stuff. they're cheering for the team, and they are pushing the team on and forward and trying to get the best out of them at every single step of the way that they possibly can. And I think that having a group, and think about this, right? This is three, in terms of, I guess, like the main ones that are doing everything. This is three separate supporters clubs all coming together and cheering the team on no matter what. I mean, imagine having three separate clubs with three separate, founders, three separate presidents, and all this other stuff, all work together on a game-to-game basis to cheer on their team no matter what, with the same chance, with the same everything. And the only thing they boast about their club is they have some banners and some flags, but it's about the team and not about the supporters club. You know how hard it is to have three separate people, three separate groups who all three have people in charge of them, to come together and agree on things and to come together and support their team. That's not because, we want our club this, we want our club that. That's because they all come and they care. I mean, hell, there's a video, I think I remember, it's 2019, I believe, when like the U12s or something were playing and the supporters groups were there cheering them on. These are like U12s. Like, it's not like, for anyone who thinks that, people are just getting drunk and they'll cheer for anything and da-da-da-da. No. They're cheering on that team. And they are going to, they do a big and enormous job in making sure that they do what they need to do. Like, it was fantastic. And I think just it was a great job by the supporters. I think nothing more could have been asked, and they did it. They did justice to what should have been done, and they cheered the club on no matter what. So I just want to give a shout out to the supporters club in that, and I'll get into the game more later on in the show. We're going to talk with Kobe Price from the Sun Sentinel. He'll come on, and he was here late with all of us as well, of course, and kind of watching the game. He had an article that he posted out earlier on the Sun Sentinel. You can go find that if you want to go find him. That's at Kobe Price. That's K Price. We'll talk with him at 11:20, and we'll talk to him about all things Inter Miami and his thoughts on the game and kind of what he thinks Inter needs to do going forward to maybe get a better attack. So we'll talk to him about that. We're also going to have Gadiel. I think you see Gad. I hope I'm saying your name right. We'll make sure, because for everyone who watches the show, listens to the show, you know that I'm a big proponent on making sure that I get the names right. Gadiel Cartagena, I believe. Gad, I'll be able to get that from you very specifically and know exactly what it is, I'm sure, a little bit later, so that we get everything down and correct the way it needs to be. But we'll talk with him at 10:34 about the Miami Heat. Of course, they have clinched a playoff spot. So have the Hawks, and so have the New York Knicks. Who would have ever thought that all three of those teams, who seemingly were not that good, all clinched a playoff spot? It is very, very interesting. The Knicks have been bad for quite some time. And then they didn't have a fantastic start to the season, but they clinched one. Julius Randle has become like the guy on the Knicks, which is another thing that's like really interesting. And then also the Hawks. I mean, the Hawks were a horrible team. Fire the coach, Nate McMillan comes in, and they've been they're the fourth seed most likely is what's going to happen. I believe they're a game and a half above the Heat in the standings. So it's going to be a crazy ride for Miami sports, but I wanted to make sure and dedicate a segment to these fans, because they're outstanding. They're outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. There's another game coming up this weekend, and if you want to join us, it's a road game. If you want to join us at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, you can come to 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano. That's where you can find all Inter Miami away games. You can come and support. They have delicious food and incredible house drafts, plus there will be giveaways. This is your new home for every road game. It's Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano. Make sure to go follow them on Twitter. That's at Dangerous Minds B, and on Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
WLESPN, broadcasting from a largely empty building.
And we do sports.
It's just not local. Shush, honey.
Why is the building empty?
Because whether it be budget cuts or stupid management, we fired almost everybody.
Ooh, but we still have our job live and local.
At least the building is.
We've got your sports.
South Florida's choice for sports talk.
OnSideRadio.com. BYB Extreme Bare Knuckle Fighting Series presents BYB 5. Saturday, May 15th at the Fair Expo Center at Tamiami Park. Meet Dada 5000. See bare knuckle brawlers fight live in BYB's patented triangle ring. The Trigon. The smallest and most confrontational ring in combat sports. Early action includes slap fights as seen on YouTube. Buy your tickets now at BYBtickets.com for BYB 5. Saturday, May 15th. Doors open at 6 p.m. BYB is proudly sponsored by BMCHam.com. Your choice for gold and silver. BMCHam.com. Inter Miami fans, time to find out more about your favorite soccer team with OnSideRadio.com's IMCF Football Focus. Here's Austin Robillard.
Inter Miami took on CF Montreal at Drive Pink Stadium last night in Fort Lauderdale, and in what was a very disappointing performance, fans not only went home disappointed, but probably went home a little bit wet as well, given the 2+ hour weather delay that both teams and fans had to endure throughout this match. Miami started off the game on the wrong foot, going down 2-0 really early, just like in the Atlanta game when they went down 1-0. They tried to turn it around in the second half, but the formation change and the personnel changes were not enough. Unfortunately, they'll go into Cincinnati on Sunday trying to get a victory.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search Onside Radio. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right, we are back here after a huge celebration of the fan base. Before we get into, who actually knows? I know, obviously, Austin, in that minute that you heard there for the Inter Miami minute that we have here every single day, he is, of course, disappointed. And you can listen to him every Saturday from 11 to 1 for Red Card Radio. We'll get into more of the game from last night when we talk with Kobe Price again in the second hour. And again, reminder, in the next segment, we're going to talk with Gadiel Cartagena from 5 Reasons Sports. It's the first time that I'm having Gad on, but I've been told only great things. So he has a lot of weight because all of his, I guess there's a whole thing, and I'm not, I follow the Heat side of 5R, especially since I work there. But with like one side of the Dolphin side and the Heat side are completely different. Of course, the Heat side has a bigger, I guess, supporter fan base type of thing because it's the Heat and Ethan and all this other stuff. But I believe what I've been told and what is true is that it is he's essentially like a part of the Sky Force, where it's like they're saying that they're some of the young guns compared to those who are in another show that's there. So well, he has a lot of expectations from some people. I will be honest. So we're dealing with a situation here where we finally have the Dolphins schedule, and something just came out of Bleacher Report actually, and I'm trying to get what it says. Right now, this is something interesting. Right now, the cheapest ticket for Tom Brady's return to New England, we're going to get to the Dolphin side of this, but the cheapest ticket for the return for Tom Brady in Week 4 to New England is actually, Tim, can you take a guess on what you think the cheapest ticket is? If you want, I'll give you an over-under.
Give me an over-under.
1,000.
Ooh. Cheapest ticket?
Yeah.
600.
1,400.
Holy moly.
Yeah. 1,400 is the cheapest ticket, and it is at the top of the bowl in section 311. That's on October 3rd. The Patriots at home against the Buccaneers. $1,400, and that's before taxes. If you want to sit in the lower bowl, I'll give you an over-under of 6,500 here. That's section 132, row 9.
Wow. That's the low?
Yeah. 6,500, I guess, is the best over-under I can give you here.
Oh, my gosh. So 7,000.
$7,149 to sit in section 132.
Wow.
What are the Patriots expecting? Like, what? This is from at Master Test, by the way. He's getting it on Ticketmaster. But what are they expecting? Like, you really think Patriots fans got that type of money? This is Massachusetts, man. What is this? $7,000 to watch the Patriots play. We're gonna watch Mac Jones get destroyed by that Tampa Bay defense, or Cam Newton not know how to throw a football. Come on. Anyways. Speaking of the Patriots, they play the Dolphins in their home opener on Sunday, September 12th, as we finally have the NFL schedule for the Miami Dolphins. That'll be a 4:25 kickoff, which a lot of people don't like for some reason. I like the later kickoffs. Obviously, when you're here at home, 1 p.m. is where you want to be because it is hot as hell. So you don't really want those late games because you want them to be in that away side, trying to catch their breath and not even understanding what the heck is going on because you got that advantage. Shout out to Stephen Ross because you and Tom Garfinkel and everyone, you guys did a fantastic job of making sure that the home side's got that shade and the away side's got to be gasping for air. That home field advantage is awesome there until you're getting destroyed by the Buffalo Bills and Stephon Diggs for 146 yards. But speaking of that, you play the Buffalo Bills in your home opener on September 19th. So, that's going to be a big day too. So what's interesting, and I know this just because I added all these games to my calendar, the day before on September 11th, of course, will be the anniversary of 9/11. There's an Inter-Miami game. I believe it's an away game, if I'm not mistaken. So there will be an Inter-Miami game and then a New England Patriots, a Miami Dolphins game, home or season opener against the Patriots, back-to-back days. It'll be a good weekend of sports. So, and for that game, according to this, it's printed out. Tickets were as low as $249 for that game. Jesus Christ, what's going on in Gillette? So, it's a pretty, people have said it's a pretty rough start for the Dolphins in what they have. You get New England at home or away, then you have Buffalo at home, then you have Vegas away, Indy at home, Tampa away, Jacksonville. Ooh, wait, this might be a mess up. This is very interesting. Now it's saying that they're playing Jacksonville at home in England. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, no, so it is still Jacksonville's home game. Okay, that's good. I was worried. I was like, Jacksonville was supposed to be hosting that game. The Dolphins should still have their 9 home games, and they do. Those home games being against Buffalo, Indy, Atlanta, Houston, Baltimore, Carolina, New York, Giants, Jets, and then New England. So They still have their 9 home games. Okay, we're still good here. All right, so that's your first 5-game slate, or I guess we could go 6-game slate. Is New England, Buffalo, Vegas, Indy, Tampa, Jacksonville. It is. I mean, it's look. 3 of those teams are going to be hard. 3 of those teams should be very easy to go against. I mean, you could look at that and say 3-3 is not that bad of a record coming out of all of this. Tampa is going to be a tough team to face. Indy, it's going to rely on Carson Wentz. Is he, all the way back or not? Who really knows what's going to happen with him? We'll know a little bit more by then because it'll be a month into the season when you finally play him. Vegas, we know what Vegas is about, and they've just gotten worse. So it'll be an interesting situation when you play Vegas. And then Buffalo. I think the biggest 2 games on that to determine how you start your season is New England and then Buffalo at home. You can't have a showing against Buffalo like you did in the 2 games that you had, at home and then away. You can't come back and have a showing like that. Honestly, I think you need to even come away with a win. You can't come away in that game with a loss, in my opinion. It depends, obviously, on injuries and stuff like that, but you need to come out there and you need to show that the Miami Dolphins football team got better. I'm not going to predict any sort of real win totals right now, but I'm just guessing out of that first 6, you're going to go probably 3-3. If I had to really, no, we'll pin some win totals here. We have some time. Yeah, we have a little bit. If I had to pin some win totals, I would say you start off with a win against New England, lose to Buffalo, beat Vegas, beat Indy, lose to Tampa, beat Jacksonville. Then things get a little bit easier. You don't have to play Buffalo in December, which is fantastic. You don't even have to play the Jets in December, which is fantastic. So no real cold football at all for the Dolphins because all those cold games, all those cold games that you could possibly have, you got the Giants at home, you got the Jets at home, Saints away. That's going to be in a dome. New Orleans doesn't really get that cold. Tennessee, I guess possibly could get a little bit cold. Who knows? Because, the world. And then you have New England at home. So not really a lot of snow games or cold games for the Dolphins this year. So that's going to be good. But from the Jacksonville game on, things get a lot easier, I think, except for one game, which I'm very scared of. You have Atlanta, which it'll just all depend on one, Kyle Pitts, how is he playing? First-year tight ends usually don't do that great. So how is Kyle Pitts going to be? That's something we need to know. I think he's going to be Rookie of the Year potentially. Obviously, they'll probably give it to a quarterback, but I think he's going to have a fantastic year. But for statistics' sake, tight ends don't really have great first seasons. He's not really a tight end, but who knows how Arthur Smith's going to play him. Is he going to use him as that Jonnu Smith role that he had in Tennessee? We'll have to see. Then you have Buffalo away. Who knows how that game's going to go? Probably a loss. Houston, they don't. Who knows what's happening with Deshaun Watson right now? Apparently, there might be settles. Apparently, according to, I think it was Ian Rappaport who made the report. I need to find it here in the break just so I can correct myself, but I believe it was Rappaport who made the report. It was Rich Eisen. It was Rich Eisen on the Rich Eisen show who said that there are still teams interested in Deshaun Watson, and that's why it is very quiet right now. So that's interesting. And the game that I think is the worst game possible for the Miami Dolphins on their entire schedule, through 18 weeks, the one that I'm the most scared of, Baltimore at home on Thursday night, November 11th, for Thursday Night Football. Every time we play Baltimore since 2015, not even, I think, since 2016, every time that we've played Baltimore, and especially on Thursday nights, the Dolphins have gotten absolutely just destroyed. I mean, no chance of coming out of that game with a win. I don't know about this season, but it's been absolutely destroyed. Even that 2016 season that was, I guess, magical with Jay Ajayi doing fantastic and all of this stuff, you still got destroyed. I think it was obviously Ryan Tannehill was injured. You had Matt Moore starting, but I think it was 44-0 or something like that, or 41. I'll have to look it up here in the break, but I mean, Baltimore always destroys you. So that's the one that I'm most scared of. Tampa is Tampa, and that's going to be, a really, really tough game. I feel like Brady a lot, but that defense, and they brought everybody back. Baltimore is the scary one for me, and got to be completely honest there. Then you got the Jets again, and you're assuming that the Jets, those two games in Week 11 and Week 15 are probably going to end up being wins. Carolina with Sam Darnold, that's funny. He sees ghosts. And then the Giants, that's another game that, when you really look at it, you can say, off of just right now, New England, that should be a win. I'm going to say Indy, you got to win there. Jacksonville, Atlanta, Houston, Jets, Carolina, Giants, Jets, and then New England again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's at least 10. And the expectation is that, you were 10-6 last year, so you should at least go like 10-7 or around, that there. And that's saying, Tennessee, New Orleans, Baltimore, Buffalo, both games, Tampa, and Vegas. Oh, I didn't even include Vegas. But those are the games that you would look at and you're like, all right, maybe. Like, my expectation still is that this team comes away with 11 or 12 wins this season. Like that, just to be completely honest with you. Those are my expectations. But coming up next, we're going to have on Gadiel Cartagena, also just known as Gad, and he'll come on here and he'll talk a lot of Miami Heat basketball with us. We'll make sure that we're pronouncing names correctly here so that I can feel good about that. Every day at Onside Radio, our hosts sit down at the roundtable to tackle the most important local or national sports headlines. The roundtable is podcasted daily, as is the E-Minute. You can search up Onside Radio on all platforms, subscribe, rate, and review to listen to all kinds of station segments. OnsideRadio.com is the home for South Florida sports.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodiasDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moodias family. Dr. Moodias is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodiasDental.com.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Miami Lakes location at 15462 Northwest 77th Court, located in the Ryan Oaks Plaza. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
WLESPN. We've got all your sports.
We're live and local.
If you wake up early enough.
You're so bad, honey.
Tune us in, as long as you're not under a bridge.
Or under any power line.
Ain't it awful?
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnsideRadio.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Toast, and I've been telling you guys all about my buddies over at B&T Windows and Doors. And some of you said, hey, listen, Toast, I'd love to get PGT custom windows and doors installed, but funds are a little tight right now. No problem, bro. Y Green. You can finance it with B&T Windows and Doors through Y Green, so you can still get your PGT custom windows and doors installed. And yeah, you're not going to have to put anything down. It's awesome. That's the way I got mine installed. Call B&T Windows and Doors today. They'll tell you all about Y Green and how to finance your windows. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit a shade above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnsideRadio.com studio. A shade above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A shade above Window Fashions.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnsideRadio.com sports update.
The NFL 2021 season is officially out, and the Dolphins start week 1 by taking on the Patriots and New England. Inter Miami CF fall to CF Montreal 2-0 last night after a 2-hour weather delay at Drive Pink Stadium. Next match is Sunday, 4 p.m. in Cincinnati. Marlins defeat the Diamondbacks last night 3-2, and we'll be back at it again tonight with Trevor Rogers set to start on the mound for the Fish. In other MLB news, Yankees are dealing with 7 positive COVID-19 cases from members of their traveling party. The Heat's Victor Oladipo is set to have season-ending surgery on his right quadriceps tendon. The Heat will take on the 76ers tonight in Philly, tip-off at 7:30. You're listening to South Florida's only locally owned sports talk station, OnSideRadio.com.
To Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right. Getting ready to have on Gadiel Cartagena, also just known as Gad. You can find him on Twitter at first name, last name, Gadiel Cartagena. That's Gadiel, and then Cartagena. Gad, am I pronouncing your first name correctly at all?
You are actually one of the only people that I have met in my entire life that on first attempt has actually gotten it correct. So thank you for that, because it rarely ever happens.
What do they go with? I mean, for me, that's what kind of seemed. I mean, obviously, I thought that I was kind of in the wrong, but I just was still going with it anyway. So I'm kind of glad that I got it right. But what do they go with instead of that?
I've gotten the most random things sometimes.
That's the only thing I can think
Gadiel. Sometimes I'll just get Gabriel because people just it's low effort. I've gotten Garfield sometimes. I was called that in middle school. You know, it just it's all over the place, but it's all good. It's all
Garfield?
Good. Yeah.
How does he even get? How do you?
Weird times in middle school. I don't know if it was a joke or not, but fun times.
Oh God, I don't know how anyone gets that, but I have to. Oh man, that's throwing me for a loop here. So. The Miami Heat, they're in the playoffs, and I don't think anyone thought that they would be in this situation, especially come like just last week. Last week, all everyone was talking about was they're probably gonna end up, at 7. They'll split with Boston, and then they'll probably lose like the Sixers, and then it'll kind of be who knows what's gonna happen. Now they've solidified that playoff spot. Them, the Knicks, and the Hawks. Right now they're still sitting at 5. I believe they're a game and a half behind the Hawks, if I'm not mistaken. Is this now a surprise considering where we were just a week ago?
To most people, I would say yes. I actually was kind of in the same bandwagon as shout out Michael Christian, another guy from 5 Reasons.
But Mike's always on the positive side. That's
well, it worked out this time. I have to say this time it did work out because, I mean, they were kind of like starting to look a little bit better, but they hadn't been able to fully like string together games, and there were some really disappointing losses, but they're here, and it's been a really positive development. I think what the Heat have been able to get from Tyler Hero since he's come back has been huge, and I don't think we can understate that. He's made a huge difference in terms of scoring off the bench, which is the problem that this team has been having. So this team I'm feeling much better about them than I did a week ago today.
Do you think they'll be able to hit that 4 seed? According to what I'm looking at now, and I'm trying to correct myself in general, that they're just a game and a half, or they're just half a game behind the Hawks. Do you think they'll be able to try to get in that for the 4 seed, or you think, regardless here, it's not going to matter because it'll probably end up being Hawks Heat at 4-5 or 5-4?
Yeah, I think the most expected scenario, at least in my eyes, would probably be the Heat finishing as the 5 seed. The Hawks have the tiebreaker, so it's really 1.5 games on the Heat. Yes. And with 2 games left in the Hawks season, I mean, I would be surprised if they lost 2. I believe they play one of Orlando and Houston, so I would be surprised if they lost those games. But I think the Heat actually will finish strong, and I think they'll be able to get that 5 seed. And then, I mean, that works out for the Heat as opposed to playing Brooklyn or Milwaukee. If you're able to get Atlanta, they're no pushover, but it's definitely not the toughest series to play in round 1.
So do you have – I mean, it's crazy to think that like the Hawks, and something I mentioned just a little bit ago at like the top of the first hour, the Hawks and the Heat were both teams that were kind of like teetering towards some, success. At the same time, they were really having mediocre seasons. Hawks fire their head coach. Now all of a sudden, they come out after that game that they fired their head coach after they lost to the Heat. They come back and they beat the Heat, and they've just been able to go on and have a fantastic season. And you are right, they play the Magic tonight at 7:30, and then they play the Rockets on Sunday. They've had a pretty good rest of their season since they've made that coaching change.
They've been fantastic, and I mean, Nate McMillan's done one unbelievable job with that team. But at the same time, the reason I guess I'm not so scared of the Hawks as a Heat fan, they do have talent. They have a lot of versatile players that can shoot and defend well. But Nate McMillan has historically not been a really great playoff coach. He's had teams that have really underachieved at times because he makes solid adjustments in season, but when it comes playoff time, he's not able to adjust game to game at the speed that some of the other elite coaches like Coach Spoelstra do in the NBA. And I mean, Spoelstra swept him last year when he was with the Pacers, and he was ultimately the reason that McMillan got fired. So I think the coaching advantage that the Heat would have in that series would be good, but the Hawks have been playing really, really well. They've been shooting the ball out of their minds. Bogdan Bogdanovic, someone that's really turned it on, and obviously you have Trae Young, John Collins, Clint Capella. Like, there's some really good players there. It'd be a very interesting series, to say the least.
So it's just been announced, actually, for another thing regarding the Heat. It was just announced, and this is Ira Winderman that tweets it out from the NBA. They said that the Heat will play the Bucks on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then the Pistons one will also be at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. You're expecting them to come out there and get at least a win in one of those, right? I'm assuming you expect at least to beat the Pistons. They are the worst team in the conference.
Yeah, I expect over the next 3 games, so Philadelphia tonight included, I expect 2 wins and 1 loss. I don't know if it'll come tonight or if it'll come against Milwaukee or, I mean, hopefully not, but against Detroit if they're able to beat Philly and Milwaukee. But I expect them to finish 2-1. But hearing that night game actually makes me feel a little bit better. I feel like the Heat are not very good in afternoon games. They've had some good games on Sundays, but I think they definitely want to end the season without having to wake up at around 6 or 7 a.m. to go to shoot around.
Yeah, these 1 p.m. starts on Sundays were always like I hate those 1 p.m. kind of starts for the NBA. Like, I feel like they should just do those like 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Like, have it then. Like, I really have never understood like a Sunday or Saturday 1 p.m. start game. What has it been, I guess, for you? And I've asked everyone that's come on and talked about the Heat, and I'll go ahead and I'll ask Ira when I have him on tomorrow. What have you made of Tyler Hero since he's come back and his play on the court?
Confidence. I think confidence is the one thing that stands out. Like, that was his calling card as a rookie. He was confident that he would show up in big moments, and he was able to do so. And then throughout the season, for whatever reason it may be, whether it was injury, just lack of focus, or just overall talent and ability, I think he kind of was fizzling out throughout the season. And he had some moments where he was borderline unplayable, but I mean, he's been confident, and when he believes in himself, he's a talented player. He can make some things happen. Obviously, there's going to be some growing pains, specifically on the defensive end, but if he's hitting his shots, he's a completely different player. So seeing his confidence is something that's made me feel a lot better about this team, and just seeing, I mean, I think with fans in the arena is definitely going to help him, and he's able to feed off of that, because last year, anytime there was fans in the arena, he would make big shot after big shot, and it's something that the Heat are going to need. They're going to need Tyler Hero to end up taking another step if they're going to go far in these playoffs. And maybe he's not all the way there, but he's at least taken a step forward from where he was a few weeks ago.
And you see, that's the question that we get into there is, how far do you expect the Heat to get into the playoffs? I mean, like, you have that situation now where you're hovering 4 and 5, most likely not going to end up on that side, hopefully, unless a complete meltdown happens, where you end up having to play like a Philly or a Brooklyn and maybe like a second-round matchup or something like that. How far do you expect them to get? Maybe one round in and then they're on the second? Or do you think it depends on what teams get through?
Yeah, I think it's really situationally based, because let's say the Heat fall to the 6th seed. I can't guarantee that I would feel good about a series against Milwaukee or Brooklyn. I think you give Jimmy Butler a chance, anything can happen. But at the same time, what I would like to see happen for this team is you get Atlanta or, I mean, hopefully even the Knicks in the 4-5 matchup, then you win that. If you're able to get to Philadelphia, then I think that's actually, of the 3 best teams in the East, I've talked with Ariel about this extensively, that is probably the matchup that the Heat want the most, just because Jimmy Butler kind of has that mental edge, and at the same time, they don't really have that many guys outside of Joel Embiid that can really kill you in a series. Over a 7-game series, there's going to be some up and down games for their role players, and that's something that obviously benefits the Heat. And then I think the Eastern Conference Finals is ultimately where I see this team most likely losing. It depends on the seeding, though, because if they play against Milwaukee or Brooklyn round 1, like I said before, like, it's going to be really tough. But I am feeling very good about a potential series with Philadelphia if the Heat get to there. Obviously, the Sixers should be favored in that series. They're a much more talented and probably much more sound team in terms of a basketball sense. But I think the mental edge that Jimmy Butler brings is something that is not matched by that Philadelphia 76ers team. So I think it could be another thing where, let's say the Heat are the 5 seed and they upset the 1 seed. I don't know if that series even goes to 7. I think it'd be in 5 or 6.
And lastly here, Gad, and we're talking with Gadiel Cartagena, from 5 Reasons Sports. Very, very quickly here. Tonight's game against the Sixers, you're expecting a win or a loss?
Well, this is actually the first game that I will be attending in person the entire season.
Oh, awesome.
So I can't guarantee that it's going to be a win, but most of the games that I've been to recently have been unbelievably competitive, some of them going into overtime. I think there's going to be a playoff atmosphere, and I don't know if Joel Embiid is going to play. I'll take the Heat in a win, though. I'm not guaranteeing it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do anything crazy. But I think the Heat should be able to come out. Their intensity's been the way it has to be going into the playoffs. They have the momentum, and this is time for them to make a statement. They beat Boston twice. They're on, I believe, a 3 or 4 game win streak, and you do it against the best team in the East, and you can start to feel really, really good about yourself going into the playoffs. I think this is going to be kind of a bit of a statement win for the Heat.
All right. Gad, thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoy yourself tonight. Are you going as press or as a fan?
Oh, maybe hopefully eventually I'll be able to go as press, but no, I'm going as a fan.
Oh, okay, so Ethan's not giving you the keys yet.
I don't know if I'll ever get the keys, but that's okay. I have the keys due to Ticketmaster.com today, and that's enough for me.
Hey, eventually you and Ariel will get it. I think both of you guys deserve it. 2 of the smartest minds, and I've been able to learn a lot from you guys when you guys do your stuff. So, Gad, thank you so much for coming on, man. Again, you can find him on Twitter at Gadiel Cartagena. That's at Gadiel Cartagena, and follow all his stuff on his Twitter. Gad, have a great one, man. Enjoy the game.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
Of course. Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., Sean Stanley hosts a Square Circle Digest. Now, wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide, OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing. And visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. Take their famous Boot Tour Challenge, and there's now outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations or pickup at 954-785-7565. So get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach to Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
At OnSideRadio.com, we chirp all day and night. It's time to do some more chirping with David Dwork at our Chirping the Cats report.
After a high-energy day on the ice on Wednesday, the Panthers are taking Thursday off as they continue to gear up for their first-round playoff series against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Trade deadline acquisition Sam Bennett remained absent from the ice after skipping Florida's final regular season game, though head coach Joel Quenneville did say he expects the skilled centerman to be back when the team resumes practice on Friday. Bennett has been on fire since arriving in Florida, finishing the season with 6 goals and 15 points in just 10 games with the Panthers. We may not know yet when Game 1 between the Cats and Bolts will be, but we know it'll be at the BB&T Center, where Florida enjoyed their highest points percentage in franchise history this season. The Panthers finished the year with a 25-3 mark on home ice, picking up points in an extremely impressive 23 of 28 contests. If they can keep it going against the Lightning, Florida will advance to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time in 25 years.
Keep up with the latest on the Florida Panthers by subscribing on most platforms by searching Onside Radio, your home for South Florida sports. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
Chat really wants me to become a UM fan. Like, they really want me to become a UM fan. It says, nice UM polo from Willie Molina, and then from Herman. And then shout out to Ian as well. Yeah, 7,000 Ian. That going back to the Patriots Buccaneers game in week 4. That is crazy. That's like in the 120s. Like I think it was section 126, like seat 11 or something, or row 11. That's insane. But yeah, nice UM polo. Thank you. And then from Herman Cueva. So Kai's becoming a UM fan. No Gator fan no more. I mean, no, but I will say, okay, I have a bunch of UM stuff. I'm actually wearing UM shorts right now, which is funny about it. But I'm wearing my UM polo that I got. I have UM shorts. Funny enough, my one of my bosses from UM that I worked for is doing some stuff with Inter, and I saw her yesterday. I didn't recognize her with the mask, and she was like, "Oh, you didn't recognize me?" And I was talking to her. And talking to her and kind of catching up and everything like that. So it's awesome because I know she'll be here now every single game, so I'll get to see her and talk to her. And she's really cool people. But, yeah, I mean, for those who aren't in the know, I worked at UM for 3 summers. Yeah, 3 summers, a part of the Mini Canes camp. If you have a kid and you're rich, that's the biggest way I can say this, because it is an expensive camp. But if you have the money and you want to go, or I think if you work at UM, your kid goes for free. But it's a fantastic camp. I have to say it is like the best summer camp in the entire world. I would suggest going. I think it's awesome. That's where I got the polo from. That's where I have my nice stuff. So I do have Gator slides on right now. So I guess I'm a walking, talking contradiction from my, my polo to my shorts. But I like the stuff. But everything's going good. Can I quickly get your take, if you can say it? And $7,000 for a seat at Patriots Buccaneers in Week 4.
No shot.
Right now, say it again.
No shot.
It's insane. Section 126.
Yeah, I would never pay anything like that.
The cheapest ticket's $1,400.
Yeah, I saw that these tickets were out of control for that game.
It's insane.
Yeah, there's no way. I need to see Halle Berry do anything in a bikini at that price.
Wanted to bring O on just because he's walking into the studio getting his stuff ready before he comes on at 12 o'clock. But I want to get his take just because it's interesting. But anyways, like we said in the first hour, first we had Gadiel Cartagena on recently. Shout out to him. He came on. We talked a lot of good Heat stuff with him. I encourage you to follow him. Again, that's at Gadiel and then Cartagena. You can find him on Twitter. He has a lot of great stuff. And then we're going to talk with Kobe Price here at 11:20. We'll talk with him about all things Inter Miami soccer. Like we said, they played yesterday. They lost 2-0. There's a lot to talk about. I want to ask Kobe his thoughts and everything he thinks on that line. But we're going to round out hour 1 here and then get into hour 2. Heat and NBA fans, you can catch Ira Winderman here exclusively at OnsideRadio.com with our Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat reports. Ira will be on my show tomorrow. You can catch Ira throughout the week at OnsideRadio.com. And when news breaks, basketball fans know Onside Radio is the place to get the insight you need.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is the official home of Inter Miami CF.
Higuain will now take. His strike is a decent one. It's fired into the top right corner. Gonzalo Higuain opens his account for Inter Miami.
OnsideRadio.com. Follow us on social media at Onside Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Toast. May is here, which means hurricane season right around the corner. You need to get PGT custom windows and doors installed in your house so that you're fully protected when we get a big storm coming on through. For those windows, only one place to call. My buddies at B&T Windows and Doors. They've been doing it in South Florida for decades, and they will set you up with the best of the business. PGT custom windows and doors. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126 for B&T Windows and Doors.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Dunkin' to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
OnsideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your Onside Radio E-Report with Michael Christian.
Warzone has long been dominated by one weapon at a time. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
Raven Software has finally figured out a way to balance all of the different weapons. If you want to find an AR that is probably a top tier weapon, you can use the Krig 6, the AMAX, the FARA, Ram 7, the FAR, or the AK-47 from Cold War. Not only that, there's a bunch of submachine guns that are really good too. You can use the MP5 from Cold War, the Bullfrog, the MAC-10. You also have the Bruin and the Stoner that are coming back. The Kar 98 is still in play. The options are there, and what's great about it is that they finally figured out a way to make this game fun and make it varied. Well done, Raven. We're proud of you.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E Report. It's time for Kai's Corner on OnsideRadio.com. To talk to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. To reach out on the text line, it's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
Hour number 2 here at beautiful Drive Pink Stadium. I am that man, Kai Chen Chisholm. You can join me every single day here from 10 a.m. to noon for Kai's Corner. And, of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Samurai Radio. That's at SAMURAIIRADIO. And you will be able to see a lot from myself, interact with me, come here in the YouTube comments and have a conversation. That's something that I always love. My big thing always is just coming in, having a conversation with you guys, and being able to enjoy a great time. As well as, of course, making sure that we are always doing what we need to do here on the show. I want to cover the roundtable segment for today because it is about the Dolphins' schedule, and we did cover the Dolphins' schedule as a whole earlier, but this one is very more specific on what it is that's it's covering with the Dolphins' schedule. So Thursday's roundtable is with the 2021 Miami Dolphins schedule now out. What game are you looking forward to the most and why? Now, I gave the game that I'm most scared of earlier on in hour 1. And I said that was going to be against the Baltimore Ravens. I said that Baltimore Ravens Thursday night, it's the only game that scares me on the entire schedule because Baltimore at home, or Miami at home against Baltimore, and then on Thursday night, that's already a recipe for disaster. The other one I think there is New Orleans. That's Monday night, but that's the bad part of it, where we want to focus on good. As I look through the schedule, man, I feel like it is the roundtable. It's my opinions. I'm giving my bias as high as I possibly can. My second favorite team is the New York Giants, and am I wrong here? No, I've never seen the New York Giants play football ever in person. They were my favorite team for quite some time. And then I became a Miami Dolphins fan, and so that kind of took my fandom. And the Giants drafted one of my favorite players in the draft, in Kadarius Toney. So, because of my bias, Week 13, Sunday, December 5th at 1 p.m. on Fox, Miami Dolphins at home against New York Giants. That is my favorite game. And why? From my biased point of view, these are two of my favorite teams in the NFL. One of them, which I love with all my heart and my soul, and the other one, which I root for anytime that they're not going against the Miami Dolphins, essentially. And I think that's gonna be great. Plus, I want to watch Kadarius Toney play, so that's a whole other thing. That's got to be my favorite by far, absolutely my favorite. When I look at it and I try to see everything on there's no game that I look at that pops out and I'm like, ooh, that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a good game. At least not like right now. I guess Indy could be one, but out of my faves, the one that I'm definitely looking most forward to, it's got to be against the Giants, just because, like I said, these are two of my favorite teams in the NFL, teams that I've loved watching. This is like a perfect recipe for me. So I think that game right there, week number 13 against the Giants, that has got to be my favorite one. And it should be a good game, too, now that I think about it. I mean, as long as the Giants at that point are protecting Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley is back, and I expect Kadarius Toney to be a very big contributor to that team, that should be a good game in general. Like, I think that Week 13 matchup in December, that should be a very good game. And you have a bye week right after, then you play against the Jets at home again. I think that's going to be a very good game. That's my favorite one. By far my favorite, and that's all I have to say on that. That is my take on the roundtable segment of today. I do want to go through again, though, now that I thought about it, because I did give the one that I'm most not looking forward to being that Thursday night game against Baltimore here at home, which Michael Christian and Juan Cardona want me to go to with them. And all it's going to do is make me more and more upset because I will be attending a game as a fan on a Thursday night in which I know that they will get absolutely destroyed. And it's just going to make me even more and more upset as the days go on. But I have to wait for that. Imagine, like, hopefully that's not the situation. The Dolphins win that game and yada, 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 right? But out of our expectations right now, we're in May. We got to wait till November 11th just to get destroyed by Baltimore on Thursday night in front of all these people. That's so disappointing. That hurts. But, oh man, that hurts a lot. But the next game there is the other one. The last time we played New Orleans, oh man, I forgot to look this up. Damn, I am stupid. The last time that we played New Orleans on Monday night, it was like, again, it was the same situation where it was Monday Night Football. We played New Orleans. It was 2016, I believe, if I'm not completely mistaken. Look at the Saints. This is great. You see, they made things very, very, very good for me because they just made things so easy. This is a lie. We played 2009 was not the last time that we played the New Orleans Saints. This has got to be super. Oh, this is a 2013 article. Why can't you just be normal? Like, if you have a history thing, why can't you just give me? Oh my God. Well, I'll have to figure this out. Saints versus Dolphins history? Maybe. Football. DB, do you have the database? Yes! Okay, it was a Monday night game. I was correct in which, and I believe was it the 2017 one? This is the issue here. This is where Kai needs to do the research when he says he's going to do the research in the middle of the segments instead of everything else. It was in 2013, not 2017. Pat myself on the back because it was a Monday night game, and at least how I said it was true. We were undefeated at the time, as were the Saints. It was a Monday Night Football game on September 30th, 2013, and the Dolphins got blown out of the water 38-17. So at least from a different point of view there, I was still correct, but I was wrong. You know? There's two parts to that. But it was a Monday. It was Monday night. And the Saints blew the Dolphins out of the water. Shout out to Football Database because let's look at the history. Right, in 2017 in October, we lost to the Saints 20-0. Oh, that was in England in 2017. I remember that very clearly. That was in England when the Saints beat the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were kind of good, kind of bad. You know why I remember that one very specifically, actually, too? Because that's the day that I moved out of my childhood home, which my family had owned since like 1984, 1989, 1990 something. No, I think 1984. I feel like that's the correct date. Could be wrong. But I have 5 siblings plus myself on one side, and then I have another sibling on. I'm one of a lot of people, but all 6 of us had lived in that house and gone through and everything like that. So I remember that very clear because that's the day that we moved out of that house and moved into the house that we're currently in. And that was a game that I had to wake up really early. Wow, memory serves great. Anyways, the series is actually tied 6-6, so whoever wins this game, and the score, points scored is also very close. The series is tied 6-6, and the Saints have only scored one more point than the Dolphins, 247-246 all time. It started off with 3 straight wins by New Orleans, 1970, 1974, 1980. Then in 1983, the Saints lost to the Dolphins. Wait, no, sorry. It started off by 3 straight wins for the Dolphins. This is looking at it from the Saints' point of view. I am so sorry. It started off with 3 straight wins for the Dolphins, then a loss for the Dolphins. The Saints won, so the Dolphins kind of dominated that to start off. Then the Dolphins won again, 2 straight wins for the Saints, 2 straight wins for the Dolphins, and since then, the Saints are 3-0, dating back from, and all of these just blowouts. 2009, 46-34, 2013, 38-17, and then 2017, 20-0. Wow, this is getting upsetting. I need to look at the Baltimore Ravens now because I need to see what the score for the Baltimore Ravens versus the Dolphins is. Well, give me a very specific team, please. Baltimore Ravens against the Dolphins. Baltimore Ravens against the Dolphins. Come on. Help me out here. You're not going to help me out, Football Database. You see, Here we go. We're going to go Baltimore. Baltimore versus Saints. But that's crazy. 6-6, and the only thing that separates them is 1 point. It's a little more bought. You see, here we go. The Dolphins have lost 3 straight to the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, man, that 2017 game, I was completely correct. It was 40-0. I don't know. Should I be happy that I was right about that, actually, now that I think about this? I don't think I should be happy that I was correct about that 40-0. That's really embarrassing. That's really embarrassing. Yikes. Anyways, the Ravens lead the series 10-6, and they've only started playing, of course, since 1997. The Dolphins won the first 2, or I would say out of the first 7 matchups, the Dolphins were 5-2, and since then they went on a 5-game losing streak. Then they finally won in 2015 and then lost 3 straight after that as well. Yikes. All those being blowouts. 2016, I believe, was the Matt Moore game, if I'm not mistaken, 38-6. 2017 was one of the opening games, if I'm not mistaken, in which they lost 40-0. Oh, man, that's just so upsetting. And then in 2019, of course, Baltimore came, and this is when everyone thought that, Lamar Jackson could throw the football. I still don't think he's a great thrower of the football, but it is what it is. And he destroyed us 59-10. This is why I'm telling you. I apologize for that. But this is why I tell you that these are the 2 scariest games for sure. Like, these are just teams that historically now in the past 3 years or the past 3 games have destroyed us every step of the way. And like for New Orleans, it's been in quote unquote primetime games, like in London, which isn't really a primetime game, but I guess for them it is in London, where they destroy us. The last one on Monday Night Football, they destroyed us. And then Baltimore just run through us on Thursday nights. Like, that's just what it is. They just absolutely run through us on Thursday nights. So, oh man, it's upsetting. It's very upsetting. It's how could you be that bad in and these are it's very specific. It's like against Baltimore specifically 38-6, 40-0, 59-10. You've scored 16 points in the past 3 games against Baltimore dating back to 2016. You got 16, 17, and 19. 16 points scored. Man, you see, I don't want to go to that game. Juan Cardona and Michael Christian, if you're listening, get ready, because when the show's over, I'm going to text you. No, I'm not going to that game. What, to watch the Dolphins get blown out again? No shot. No shot. I guess Tennessee is a little bit of a interesting one. Do we expect Ryan Tannehill to have a good game against the Dolphins? That's another thing. Dolphins history lesson here. That's what we're going with today. It's a Dolphins history lesson. How far into the history of the Miami Dolphins and their shambolic performances against teams can we get to? That's the big question. Anyways, coming up in a little bit, we're going to talk with Kobe Price. I'm excited to talk with him. It's the first time that we're going to have him on the show. Talked to him most recently yesterday. Met him at the first game against the Galaxy. Cool guy. I'm excited to talk to him and see his thoughts about Inter Miami and what he thinks is kind of, I guess, going to happen here in the future. They have a game on Sunday, and then kind of how they've played throughout their first games. Of course, 2 losses, 1 win, and I believe a draw as well. So we'll have to see what he thinks and kind of get his overall thoughts on everything. Guys, every Thursday night, tonight you have it again. From 7 to 9 p.m., you can catch Fight Night with Alex Dono and James Walker. It's the show dedicated to combat sports. From UFC to boxing to bare-knuckle brawling, Alex and James provide combat sports fans the insight and interviews they crave. You can tune in every Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. for Fight Night with Alex Dono and James Walker. Search and subscribe to the podcast by searching Fight Night on the home for combat sports, OnSideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. and you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
WLESPN, broadcasting from a largely empty building. And we do sports.
It's just not local.
Shush, honey.
Why is the building empty?
Because whether it be budget cuts or stupid management, we've fired almost everybody.
Ooh, but we still have our job live and local.
At least the building is.
We've got your sports.
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com. BYB Extreme Bare Knuckle Fighting Series presents BYP 5. Saturday, May 15th at the Fair Expo Center at Tamiami Park. Meet Dada 5000. See bare knuckle brawlers fight live in BYB's patented triangle ring. The Trigon. The smallest and most confrontational ring in combat sports. Early action includes slap fights as seen on YouTube. Buy your tickets now at BYBtickets.com for BYB 5. Saturday, May 15th. Doors open at 6 p.m. BYB is proudly sponsored by BMCHam.com. Your choice for gold and silver. BMCHam.com. Inter Miami fans, time to find out more about your favorite soccer team with OnSideRadio.com's IMCF Football Focus. Here's Austin Robillard.
Inter Miami took on CF Montreal at Drive Pink Stadium last night in Fort Lauderdale, and in what was a very disappointing performance, fans not only went home disappointed, but probably went home a little bit wet as well, given the 2+ hour weather delay that both teams and fans had to endure throughout this match. Miami started off the game on the wrong foot, going down 2-0 really early, just like in the Atlanta game when they went down 1-0. They tried to turn it around in the second half, but the formation change and the personnel changes were not enough. Unfortunately, they'll go into Cincinnati on Sunday trying to get a victory.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search Onside Radio. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right, we're getting ready to have on Kobe Price from the Sun Sentinel. You can find him on Twitter at Kobe_Price. He was here very late with all of us here yesterday. After the rain delay and after everything that happened, of course, eventually Inter Miami losing 2-0 to Montreal. Kobe, how are you this morning after a late night last night?
Tired, man. I'm tired, but, hanging in there. Just hanging in, can't complain. That was maybe if the game was a little better, I wouldn't be as tired. Maybe I'll say that. All
right. Well, what do you make of everything? I mean, it seemingly they came out flat, and a lot of people have been calling it, I think yourself as well, in an article that you wrote, calling it pretty much how they were saying it. It's kind of embarrassing that they lost in the fashion they did, and they came out and they put the product on the field that they did in the first half. What do you make of, I guess, let's start with the first half, and then we'll get into the second half after.
Yeah, no, that first half was, to be honest, that first 20 minutes that they played, 15 to 20 minutes, was some of the worst soccer I've seen Inter Miami play. And I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic. I've talked about this with other media members. We couldn't, the overall game we were comparing the performance, but that first 15 minutes, they just looked slow. They were getting, Victor Yoa said it himself, they're being outworked. but they just looked like they were running in quicksand, and Montreal looked like they were like running on treadmills the entire time. It was just like they're playing two completely different games at two completely different speeds, and it was rough. It was a rough watch. The first time I rewatched it a second time, and it was even rougher looking at it on a rewatch. So you said it best. They just got outworked, and that was clear from the start.
How do you feel, I guess, like you said, it felt like everything was really slow. And one of the things that I noticed while I was kind of watching the game is it felt like every single time that the midfield got the ball, especially in that first half, they were like, immediately losing it, or there would be times where you could see, visibly see on the pitch that players were trying to move forward and guys weren't passing the ball. They were turning around, passing it back to the defense, or not moving the ball forward when there were clear spaces that they could have passed the ball into. What do you think that they need to do to get this kind of going faster? Like they did in the second half, and they were able to make that work. What do you think needs to happen in these first halves of these games so that they don't come out as flat as they do?
Yeah, I think with Montreal specifically, I just don't know how prepared. It seemed like they were unprepared for the numbers Montreal had in the midfield. And it seemed like they were overwhelmed, like they were being swarmed, like they didn't know where every Montreal player was going to be, and they didn't want to take the risk of turnaround. They also struggled to just string together passes as is. It took them at least 20 minutes to get 5 passes in a row on Montreal's half of the field, maybe even a little longer. So they just couldn't – they seemed to not have a good feel for what Montreal was trying to do. Maybe that comes down to poor scouting, poor preparation. Victor Yoa said that tactically their game plan wasn't the one that they came into the game, wasn't the one that they were supposed to have or the one they needed, and that was clear from the get-go because they did not seem to know what Montreal was trying to do at all until the second half, and they adjusted. They seemed to sort of the formation. They had a more of a box midfield at one point, but they just have to be better prepared tactically and just play like, just play better, just play harder, just play with more effort, be more focused on it, because there seems to be both a lack of preparation and effort and focus. You have a combination of those three, you're not going to win anything.
Right, and I feel like we've seen the style of football that Phil Neville wants to play, and at times it's looked very good. Of course, in that home game you saw a lot of what you wanted to see. Of course, a few mistakes, and, it's the game of soccer. In those mistakes, the minor ones that you make will cost you a game every single time. But that wasn't the case yesterday, as you mentioned. It seemed like everything was coming out flat. Again, we're talking with Kobe Price from the Sun Sentinel. Again, you can find him on Twitter at Kobe_Price. Coming into the second half, and especially after that super long rain delay, they came out and a lot better. They came out, it seems like, controlling some possession. They came out, they were playing 3 in the back, and Neville finally switching up this, the formation. You had Breck Shea moving up and really pushing forward and trying to get something in there. The one thing that seemed very evident was they kept getting to those spaces there in the second half, but time and time again, just that final pass, that final cross into the box was either skying or no one was there. It was just kind of passing without even looking or kind of having a feel for someone to be there. What do you make of how they played in that second half?
Yeah, that second half, it seemed like they were doing it was like a 3-2-2-3, a 3-4-3, a mixture. They would be like a 5-2-3 defensively because you have you have guys playing as wingbacks. So they were just trying to get more. They were just trying to seem like they're trying to spread the field out more, trying to get guys higher. Like, it was very noticeable with Breck Shea at one point, and then Jovan Jones eventually how high they were playing. How high up they were playing, because originally Breck Shea was playing as a fullback, and then he's as far up as Gonzalo Higuain.
Right.
So it just seemed like they're trying to spread the field more, get guys out high and wide at better angles. That final pass that's been something that has been notable or noticeable, not just under Phil Neville's team, but just overall with this team, even dating back to last year. It's always been that final third. It's always been that final pass. They don't have a classic number 10 who's going to distribute. Well, they do, but he comes off the bench in Federico Higuain, who can distribute from the get-go. Pizarro is not that. Jay Chapman is not that. And they just don't have – they're not clicking. Something is not clicking, and I don't know if it's from a technical standpoint. I believe there's technical ability to make that final pass click, but there's something that is not clicking. yesterday it was just a whole lot of poor passing on their part. Even before they got to the final third, they struggled to pass out of the midfield. So for them to do that, they had to have a better game plan. They had to be better prepared, knowing, and quicker. That's the one thing that stood out. They seem to be slow, not just in terms of the speed in which they ran, but also the speed in which they processed things. Things weren't bam, bam, boom, boom. It was very methodical. And that can work. We talked to Phil Neville about this the other time. They have, dribblers. They have guys who like to, possess the ball, dribble, take things on. But sometimes you just got to keep the ball moving, just keep moving quickly, and then attack the space. They seem to want to, take their time and then see if the space opens. It seemed slower than usual yesterday, but that's something that's been notable throughout the year. They just are, unless it's in the counterattack, they can be very methodical.
So they've been, and it's one of the things that I've noticed a lot. I watch a lot of the Bundesliga. It's the league that I follow the most. But one thing I've noticed, and especially I mentioned that because in the Bundesliga it's a lot of, and with German soccer, a lot of possession-based football. And Inter has been dominated in possession seemingly every single game. Yesterday, it was like that a lot for the first half. Of course, I think the second half kind of brought them back a little bit. Ultimately, 52-48. Unlike the Atlanta game, I think it was like 61.5% of possession for Atlanta. What do you think needs to happen? I mean, is there anything that they can do right now besides maybe switching some things up in the midfield, maybe having guys like Federico Higuain starting and trying to get things going rather than having him off the bench? Or can he even play a full 90 minutes possibly?
Yeah, I don't think Federico, I looked it up not too long ago for a story that I did. I mentioned the story. I don't think he's played a full 90 minutes since July 2019. Maybe it was May or June 2019, because he had the ACL surgery summer 2019. So it's been a while since he played a full 90, and it's unknown if he has the fitness to last a full 90. But every time he's on the field, Miami does a better job of just possessing. He is their connector in the midfield, in that he distributes. He's the guy who moves the ball quickly, who gets it into spaces, and then he gets the ball back and uses different spaces. He's the pace setter when he's on the field. And that just may be the answer right there. Just having him on the field more. Maybe it isn't for the full 90. He may not start, but maybe bring him in earlier in the game and have an earlier substitution, just so you can get that pace and just so you can get that possession in, because they lack they're lacking the connector right now. The connector between the back line, the midfield, and the attacking spaces. They're lacking that connector. They've been lacking the connector. It's nothing new, but in a game like yesterday, it's even more evident that a guy like Federico Higuain is crucial to the team, and he's been crucial throughout this entire season. Every time he's been on the field, he's been the game changer. Every single game he's been on the field, including the loss to the LA Galaxy. When he came in the game, things changed for the better. So he may be the solution to their whole possession issue right now, because other than that, I'm not sure what else they can change. Maybe they can try to change formations, maybe play more of a 4-3-3 just to make that midfield a little more flat and let Pizarro drop even deeper. But it's looking like, for at least right now, Higuain is the main solution. Federico Higuain, that is.
So coming into the game this Sunday, they're going to be playing at 4 o'clock away against Cincinnati. Cincinnati has not had a great start to their season. And Inter Miami, they've had, I guess you could say, like, it's been like a shaky start. I mean, 1-2-2, but Cincinnati's coming into it 0-1-2. What do you think, like, if they come away with this and they came away with anything other than 3 points, what do you think is going to change in that situation?
You said if they left Cincinnati with less than 3 points?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't. I just have to be honest with you. Like, if they leave Cincinnati with less than 3 points, I would both be surprised, but that would, yeah. They're missing one. They're missing guys. I feel like that's important to say. They're still missing Figal, who starter. They're still missing Robert Robinson. So there maybe depending on how this goes, it may spark maybe a change in starters or just a change in who gets the most minutes. We've already seen Pizarro's gone from playing as a number 10, the central attacking midfielder, and he's been playing more of the left wing. It seems like Neville's okay with shaking things up and just trying different things. But if they don't beat Cincinnati, I would expect some changes. Whether it's bringing in a guy like Edison Ascona. I'm not sure if Ascona is ready to, start like that. But if you can't beat Cincinnati, you have to try pretty much anything you can. Maybe it's bringing in Freddie Higuain to play heavier minutes, because you can't lose to Cincinnati. I know they had what was supposed to be a good offseason, but they're still one of the lower tier teams in the league.
Kobe, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. You can find him on Twitter again at Kobe_Price and catch everything from him. And then, of course, on game days and everything. Kobe, have a great rest of your day, man.
You too. Take care. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Miami Dolphins fans can always count on the best coverage at OnSideRadio.com every week. Keep up with your favorite team as Dolphins writer Omar Kelly joins us with exclusive reports and when news breaks. Catch the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins report on the home for Dolphins fans worldwide, OnSideRadio.com.
Now streaming online. Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAssDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody Ass family. Dr. Moody Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAssDental.com.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Miami Lakes location at 15462 Northwest 77th Court, located in the Ryan Oaks Plaza. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
WLESPN. We've got all your sports.
We're live and local.
If you wake up early enough.
You're so bad, honey.
Tune us in, as long as you're not under a bridge.
Or under any power line.
Ain't it awful? South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Hey, it's Toast, and when I got PGT custom windows and doors installed at my house last year from B&T Windows and Doors, I knew that I was protecting my house when it came to hurricanes. But I was also investing in my house. My value went up. My home insurance cost went down. Yeah, I can now get more for my house when I sell it because I have PGT custom windows and doors installed courtesy of my buddies at B&T Windows and Doors. Just another reason why you should upgrade your house today. Give them a call, 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126, B&T Windows and Doors.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit a shade above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnSideRadio.com studio. A shade above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A shade above Window Fashions.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
The 2021 NFL schedule is officially out, and the Dolphins will start Week 1 by taking on the Patriots in New England. Inter Miami CF fall to CF Montreal 2-0 last night after a 2-hour weather delay at Drive Pink Stadium. Next match is Sunday, 4 p.m. in Cincinnati. Marlins defeat the Diamondbacks last night 3-2 and will be back at it again tonight with Trevor Rogers set to start on the mound for the Fish. In other MLB news, Yankees are dealing with 7 positive COVID cases of members of their traveling party. The Heat, Victor Oladipo, set to have a season-ending surgery on his right quadricep tendon. The Heat will take on 76ers tonight in Philly. Tip-off is at 7:30. You're listening to South Florida's only locally owned sports talk station, OnsideRadio.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
Want to give a big thanks to Kobe for coming on in the last segment, talking some Inter Miami with us, of course, after the last game. Now that I think about it as well, you know, they got to come away these next two, Sunday the 16th and then next Saturday the 22nd, before they come back for a Saturday night game at full capacity on the 29th. These 2 away games against Cincinnati and Chicago, these are 2 of the lower teams in the league. You got to come away with a win in these 2. Especially Cincinnati. You got to come away with the win there. In the update there that Tim gave you, of course, it's something that came out yesterday in the middle of Dono's show. Victor Oladipo is having season-ending surgery, and it's been really interesting to see the reaction to it because a lot of people have been very negative, of course, Dono being one of them, but in terms of like his contribution. And of course, Victor didn't really do much when he was a part of the Miami Heat, but he seemingly wants to be here. So I find it very interesting because do we think that Vic will come back in any capacity at all? I feel like the initial thought is no, he's not going to come back under any, sort of way at all with this Miami Heat team. But if he truly wants to be here and now coming off of these injuries, who knows if he'll, get any of a market from any of these teams. Does he come back on a Miami Heat team-friendly deal where they kind of make an agreement with him possibly and try to get something out there? That's one of the most interesting things for me because Vic is one of those guys that you look at and you're like, all right, there's a chance for this and that he could possibly be something. And we saw what he did defensively helping the Heat when he came on, then finally coming on offensively before he got himself hurt. Tim, I have to ask, what do you think the Heat are going to do when it comes to Victor Oladipo? Do you think they'll try to bring him back under any capacity, or you think it was kind of like a 2-3 game rental?
Honestly, I have zero idea.
Nothing.
Sorry, I can't help with that one.
No worries. Do you think that they might need him or try to want him back, I guess is the best way to put it? Like, do you think that they'll try anything at all besides that? Like, do you think they'll want him, or do you think it's just kind of maybe Vic wants to come back, but the Heat don't want him back?
I'm not sure. I think they probably will have that discussion about having him back. I just don't know whether or not, how deep that's going to go.
Right. I hope for Vic's sake that he lands on his feet or something, because I like Vic a lot, and I think that, I think it would be great for him to kind of be able to get a chance, but it is what it is. Oh, okay. I saw something that got retweeted. I thought Jakeem Grant got cut. It's not true though. Oh man. I was a second away there for a second. I was about to get real hyped. I'm awake now that I saw that. Maybe it'll happen today. Who knows? Anyways, Big O is so upset, shaking his head. Anyways, the schedule has gotten released for the Panthers. Panthers versus Tampa Bay Lightning. That 7-game schedule, if necessary, of course, has been released. They'll start this Sunday, the 16th, at 7:30 p.m. at the BB&T Center against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Then Tuesday, May 18th at 8 p.m., Thursday at 6:30. Game 4 will be on Saturday, May 22nd at 12:30. Those, of course, the Game 3 and Game 4 being in Tampa. And then Game 5, if it's needed, TBD, and the same thing with 6 and 7. But those would be Monday, May 24th, Wednesday, May 26th, and Friday, May 28th, if all needed at all. I'm excited to watch some Panthers hockey and some Panthers, playoff hockey, Stanley Cup playoff hockey, because I really want to see what they can do. And again, start to continue to learn more. I believe Then I'm going to have David Dwork on next week on Monday. I'm not completely sure. He's still trying to figure out something, and then I'm trying to figure out something. So I believe we're going to work it out. But we'll try to have him on next week anyways to talk about it.
Figure something out?
Yeah, we're each trying to figure something out.
Forget about it.
It's going to happen. I got this. Don't worry about it. But we're going to have him on.
Sure you do.
It'll happen. Watch. I'm putting the positive vibes in the air. But I'm excited for that as well because I do want to talk some more Florida Panthers hockey and continue to learn as much as I possibly can about Florida Panthers hockey and just hockey in general because it's an exciting game. And I feel like the issues for me have always been that when they played the games, I was at work and I could not watch. Now, however, these games will be in a perfect time slot for me to watch them.
I just want you to do this if you can.
Right.
Don't only watch the Panthers. I want you to watch another series or two. Because if you sit there and you're absolutely objective, and this is coming from a pigskin head, I love football more than anything else. The best playoffs in the business are
Is
hockey.
the Stanley Cup.
It's not even close.
That's what I've heard.
It's not even close. If you actually get into it and you watch, this is the best season right now. When you watch the playoffs in hockey, they are just absolutely sick. So take some time and you'll become a much bigger fan. Because you're like, holy crap, I don't see this all the time in the regular season. Now you're watching the playoffs, and they go to another level. And I'm telling you, playoff hockey is special, man. So
I will definitely take that into account because I do want to, again, it's like getting into it and trying to watch it as much as possible just because I feel like it is, like when I was able to watch it when some of the games were like at a decent time for me to be able to sit there and watch, I loved it, and I was having like a ton of fun, and I enjoyed it a lot. And it was fun to just sit there and kind of watch it. I mean, I tell the story because it's true. It's like I literally had it go where I had myself watching the game and everything was going great. Went to go do something at work. We were down 2-0, and then I came back and we were up 3-2, and it was like the end of the third period, and it was like, wait a second. I've been gone for like 20 minutes. Like this happened. I remember I was texting Kylie. I was like, how the heck did we just score like 3 goals in this amount of time? And it was very exciting to watch, and I found myself really getting into it. So I as long as these games are like in the slots that they are at, where they are able to be in a time where I can sit down and really watch them, I'm excited. And I will take O's advice and watch a bunch of different playoff games. Tim, are you into hockey at all? Are you like where does your sports? I don't even think we've had this conversation yet. Like, where do your sports allegiances lie, Tim, in terms of like your favorite sports to watch?
Basketball and football.
Basketball and football.
Yeah, I'm not huge on. I mean, I love being at a hockey game. I'm not necessarily.
Well, yeah, everyone loves being at a
you know.
hockey game.
Yeah.
But you're not like. Do you watch soccer at all, Tim, or no?
I do off and on.
Okay.
But that busy schedule keeps me. I can't. 45-minute house right now. I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, I could see that. I could understand where you're coming from there. I think it's still, I don't know. For me, again, I have this back and forth conversation with Kylie about it because, of course, Kylie wants me to watch hockey. My whole thing is I would tell her, it's like, okay, hockey might be exciting, but you know what? So is soccer. I don't understand how people think. Maybe it's just because maybe on TV it's boring. I mean, I still like watching it no matter what. I mean, I had a situation where me and my girlfriend were watching it at a Bavarian restaurant, or Bavarian bar, I guess technically it's called, where Bayern Munich has their watch parties for the Miami München fan club. And it's the first time she ever came with me to watch a game there. And she was bored as heck. And I can remember I would look over and I'd be like, "You're entertained?" And she's like, yeah, it's, they're passing the ball back and forth. And it was a good game. They won 6-0. So I guess like I have to sail that ship. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Some positive soccer watching. Football and basketball, good there for sure. But I don't know. I find soccer so entertaining. I can sit there and watch one game at 9:30, like, because that's how the Bundesliga goes. I can watch one game at 9:30, finish that one, watch the next one at 12:30, and have watched soccer for like 6 hours, essentially, technically straight. And I'd be perfectly fine with it, no problem at all. I don't know. And again, like I love watching possession-based football, and that's what the Bundesliga really is. So I'll never, ever, ever get bored with that style of play. But it's been a very, very good show today, and I want to thank everyone for coming out and listening for when you have so far. Of course, we're going to crosstalk here in a little bit with Big O, and we'll be able to see what he's going to have up on his show. All of us here I feel like did a great job yesterday, and then coming in today and making sure that all of you can get all the insight you need from any of us and anything you might want to know, and just have a great time. And that's kind of the thing that I like a lot. So again, we're gonna round out hour 2 here in a little bit, and then have Big O on for the crosstalk. Sports fans can always catch up with all of our daily segments by subscribing to Onside Radio on most platforms. You can listen to us discuss the hottest topics on the round table. Those are posted every single evening, and you can find them on Twitter as well in case you miss it. You can go on there, but make sure you subscribe on any platform that you can find it on. And then also rate and review it, because then all that stuff's going to get out there. You can also get the E-Minute for if you're an esports fan or anything like that. Mine will be tomorrow. It'll be once again about, I already know what it's going to be about, but actually I'm not going to say it. I'll leave it be. But once again about streamers joining organizations, because there are a lot of streamers joining orgs, and it's really good. And then Panthers fans, you can catch David Dwork as he provides the Panthers Minute. Austin does the Inter Miami Minute, and he gives you all the passion from that group. And then Christian and Alex Aguirre, that's Christian Chase and Alex Aguirre, who host not Inside the Paint, Deep Into the Count from 1 to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. They provide Miami Marlins insight. You can subscribe, rate, and view to all Onside Radio stuff here on the platform, the station that has the passion that South Florida fans desire.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. Take their famous Boot Tour Challenge, and there's now outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations or pickup at 954-785-7565. So get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach to Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
At OnsideRadio.com, we chirp all day and night. It's time to do some more chirping with David Dwork at our Chirping the Cats report.
After a high-energy day on the ice on Wednesday, the Panthers are taking Thursday off as they continue to gear up for their first-round playoff series against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Trade deadline acquisition Sam Bennett remained absent from the ice after skipping Florida's final regular season game, though head coach Joel Quenneville did say he expects the skilled centerman to be back when the team resumes practice on Friday. Bennett has been on fire since arriving in Florida, finishing the season with 6 goals and 15 points in just 10 games with the Panthers. We may not know yet when Game 1 between the Cats and Bolts will be, but we know it'll be at the BB&T Center, where Florida enjoyed their highest points percentage in franchise history this season. The Panthers finished the year with a 25-3 mark on home ice, picking up points in an extremely impressive 23 of 28 contests. If they can keep it going against the Lightning, Florida will advance to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time in 25 years.
Keep up with the latest on the Florida Panthers by subscribing on most platforms by searching Onside Radio, your home for South Florida sports. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right, rounding off the show, rounding off hour 2, having Big O here in studio. A lot has happened since last night. Oh, of course, not only just the Inter Miami game, but everything in general. I mean, the Dolphins schedule was released, so there's a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of talk. Hopefully I can talk so I can keep myself up throughout the process.
We're all tired,
yeah,
man.
No, I mean, I'm glad the schedule's out. We got a bunch of, different topics, the heat, all kinds of stuff, man, to talk about. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to having a nice Thursday afternoon with the boys and girls out there.
Yeah, it's great. I think what's perfect about today is,
and especially after a rough night last night.
Right. So we of course you have the rough night, the loss, and then how long the night was. Now having a lot to talk about is great, because imagine coming in today after that and like having nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
no,
that would be brutal.
God,
but
it'd be so brutal.
Thank you, NFL, who knows how to keep their sport in the news.
But then they released it 15 minutes early too.
Out of the year. Yeah, but it's not just that. I mean, I have a couple of other interesting NFL notes too.
Hey, Blake Bortles is the starting quarterback of the.
See what I mean? These are things that you got to have fun with here. You know what I'm saying? You're going from Aaron Rodgers to Blake Bortles. My God, are you kidding me? That's like I'm ready to burn my Packer jersey if I'm a Packers fan. I mean, seriously. How much more drinking are you going to do at the stadium?
It's the greatest league in the world.
Blake Bortles is your quarterback. Are you crazy? I mean, there isn't enough cheese to keep me in the bathroom, so I don't have to watch Blake Bortles.
What's funny about like the stadium, Adam Thielen the other day made a comment. I forget, he was on a golf podcast and he talked about like NFL stadiums, and he mentioned how he didn't really like he didn't think that Lambeau was as great as everyone makes it out to be. Obviously, he said, "Oh, I like playing at Lambeau."
I saw that.
What do you think about that?
I think he's an idiot. I think
it's because of the Vikings. He's from Minnesota, his hometown team. He plays for the Vikings.
But Lambeau Field is Lambeau Field.
It's iconic.
It's part of the history, dude.
Right.
That's kind of what it is. You know what I mean? That's why I'm dying to go, because there aren't a lot of those kind of stadiums left. A couple of years ago, I went to see a Rams game against the Seahawks
at the Coliseum.
Oh man, why? Because I've seen the Coliseum since I was a child, whether it was the Olympics or the Rams when Ferragamo was throwing to Flipper Anderson, or whatever, or watching Eric Dickerson run in that stadium. And so for me, there's a lot of history from the Fearsome Foursome that played in that stadium back in the day, Merlin Olsen and company. So I wanted to, how many stadiums like that are left? We knocked one down here in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
So, it's Green Bay. Chicago, by the way, is now thinking of moving out of Chicago and going somewhere else. So, and I know this isn't the Soldier Field that was Soldier Field, but it's still kind of the inside of it is Soldier Field. They kind of built around it to make it look like a spaceship or whatever the hell it is. But I would like to go there just to kind of get a little part of that history, because that's the legitimate field that a lot of great Bears played on. You know what I mean? So when you go to Lambeau Field, you have to expect that everything's not modernized at that point, because it's kind
bleachers,
of maintaining a little bit of that. Plus, they've expanded it and all that. I actually appreciate that the Packers have been able to kind of keep the heart and soul of it, and then still build around it to make it as modern as possible. You know what I'm saying? So I'm dying personally to go. I think and somebody then countered him and said he's wrong. To go there and play there is an honor, and to win there is even better. I forgot what player said that, but somebody countered him and said, no, that's not true, because when you go there and you win there, it's like when basketball players tell you they go to Madison Square Garden and to play there and then to win also at Madison Square Garden, there's something special. When I've been to Madison Square Garden several times now for concerts, and I feel when you go there, it's like, okay, this is cool, dude. This is one of the most famous arenas in the world and all that. And by the way, acoustically, it is fantastic. The second level is actually the closest second level I've ever seen to the court, ever. I don't think there's a second level that is closer to the court than the one at MSG. And I've been to a lot of arenas around the country. So that one in old school style still has some element that you even don't see in modern arenas anymore. And it's super, super clean. You know, you could tell it's old.
I need to get to some concerts,
You could tell it's old, but it's super clean, Madison Square Garden. It's really nice.
No, I need to get to some concerts. Like, the only concert I've been to was Logic down here in Bayside. And I was supposed to go to a Mac Miller concert and rest his soul, and I wanted to go to a
Corn
Gambino
and Stained
concert.
is coming in May here to Palm Beach. I can't wait now.
All right, well, hey, you're going to have a bunch of stuff, too, especially since you love going to concerts, so that's great. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming out to this Thursday's edition of Kai Korner, being with us and everything like that. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Sean. It's been a great show, great day. Have a great rest of yours. Big O following me, and he'll have a great show as well. And then, of course,
Rock
Donna
it out, baby!
to round out the rest of the afternoon. Have a great one.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
When you want local sports, 1260 WLESPN.
We're live and local.
Yes, what she said.
Well, it's what they wrote.
Look at it this way, honey.
Oh, no. Here we go.
At some point, this was all live, and wherever it came from, it was local there.
You get that look whenever you stretch the truth or when you need your laxative.
Ain't it awful? South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
OnSideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your Onside Radio E-Report with Michael Christian.
Warzone has long been dominated by one weapon at a time. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Raven Software has finally figured out a way to balance all of the different weapons. If you want to find an AR that is probably a top tier weapon, you can use the Krig 6, the AMAX, the FARA, Ram 7, the FAR, or the AK-47 from Cold War. Not only that, there's a bunch of submachine guns that are really good too. You can use the MP5 from Cold War, the Bullfrog, the MAC-10. You also have the Bruin and the Stoner that are coming back. The Kar 98 is still in play. The options are there, and what's great about it is that they finally figured out a way to make this game fun and make it varied. Well done, Raven. We're proud of you.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E-Report.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone.